to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we do have an amended agenda today.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item 3, and the reason most of you are here is recognition of new teachers. Mr. Hetherington.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'd like to introduce our second grade teacher, Kelsey Sampson. Our third grade teacher, Mackenzie Rackness. Our sixth grade teachers, Jennifer Nelson and Sherry Gifford. And we also have our assistant nurse, Caitlin Kastner.
You guys, you're welcome to say anything or tell us a little about yourself or not or whatever. Maybe where you're from or how you got here.
I'm Jenny Nelson. I spent the last 2 years in Cheyenne with my family, and we had ties to the valley, and we want to raise our kids here, so we're delighted to have our first grader here. It's really exciting having sixth grade up in the middle high. It's been a great couple weeks. Homecoming was a lot of fun, and they did a lot of things that was new to me as a sixth grade teacher being in the middle high, but they had such a wonderful job, and that represented our community well when we were out and about. So glad to be here.
I'm Sherry Gifford. I'm the other sixth grade teacher. I actually grew up here. I lived here through my end of my sophomore year, so I went to school here through 10th grade, and just wanted to come back and be back closer to family. And I'm within a 4-hour radius of all my family from here, as opposed to Washington, where I was the past 30 years, which makes me kind of old. And I taught I've been teaching 4th grade the last, I don't know, maybe 6 years, 7 years, but I've taught every grade level except 5th. So now I'm at 6th. It's been fun and interesting, and learning all the, fitting in the homecoming and doing all that. That was pretty exhausting.
Yeah, it was exhausting. Right, it was exhausting.
No, you're good. I am Caitlin Kastner. I moved up here because my husband works for the police department. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom, working my way back into the workforce, trying to figure it out. And before that, I worked at a jail.
I'm Mackenzie Rackness. I've lived here for 6 years now, working as an aide and substitute and raising kids, and finally got my degree and spending the first year as a third grade teacher. So.
Kelsey Sampson. I actually grew up here, so I grew up here, went to elementary school here. I taught 4th grade over in Rollins the last 2 years and commuted back and forth, so I'm glad I'm here, so I don't have to make that drive back and forth to Rollins anymore. And I've been enjoying it. 2nd grade's awesome, so.
I'm glad.
Well, welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Glad you're here. Yeah, appreciate it. And you don't have to stay for the whole board meeting. You're welcome to.
We're really fun.
So, welcome.
I believe you, but I got littles.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And there's a prize at the end.
Sure. Okay, thank you. The next.
She has joined by phone,
Okay.
and she can't hear us. I don't know if we can hear her. We can hear her yet, but she can at least hear us.
Okay. Hi, Casey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Item 4, audience comment. Any audience comment, participation? Mr. Priest.
Many of you know Wendy Briggs. She was the high school secretary at HEM for a number of years. Her husband, Lonnie, recently passed away. Their services will be this Wednesday. I just wanted you guys to know about that. Pass on the condolences if you wish.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Any other audience comment? Okay. We'll move on to item 5, correspondence. We have some sportsmanship letter from WASA.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we received letters recognizing the following student athletes for their good sportsmanship. Anthony Solis and Samuel Ramirez from HEM at the HEM versus KC football game. From Encampment, Quay Jordan at the Encampment versus Tensley football game. And Slade Daly from Saratoga Middle High School at the Saratoga Middle High School versus Wind River football game. I guess another item of correspondence is the thank you card that you all received from the FBLA. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. Okay, moving on to items 6, resignations and hiring. Number A, regarding Mr. Priest.
Consider accepting the resignation of Stephen Priest, HEM principal, effective November 25th, 2022.
Chairman, I move that we accept the resignation of Steve Priest, HEM principal, effective November 25th, 2022.
Second?
It's moved and seconded to accept the resignation of Mr. Priest effective November 25th, 2022. Just a comment, you're going to Wyoming Department of Education, is that right? So we wish you well with that endeavor. I'm sure we'll be interacting some in the future that way, so thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item B is the extra duty contracts, activity contracts.
Consider offering a 2022-2023 activity extra duty contracts to David Jones, Mike McGraw, Kylie Tilka, and Russ Wiggum. Those were to fill some coaching positions that we have.
Chairman, I move that we offer extra activity duty contracts to David Jones, Mike McGraw, Kaylee Tilka, and Russ Williams.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those activity extra duty contracts. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item C.
Consider offering the 2022-2023 September listing for activity extra duty contracts, GCBB-R.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we offer the 2022-2023 September listing for activity extra duty contracts as listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded to offer the 2022-2023 September listing for activity extra duty contracts, form GCBB-R. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Item 7A, superintendent report, Mr. Jennings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. A few things that we have. Enrollment is up to 608. The previous May enrollment was 592. Encampment, Hannah Elementary School, and Saratoga schools are all up. A few students, Medicine Up Mountain, as you can see, are down a few students.
You said it's 608, we started at 600.
At the end of last year was 592.
But the first day said 600, so we.
Yes, we've gained 8 students, yes.
So why do, just curiosity, people just come in later or don't get here in time, or?
You know, when you start before Labor Day, it seems like Labor Day is the magic day that people decide they want to put their kids in school. It's like that Tuesday, people will show up and enroll their students.
Thank you.
Second item I have, Wyoming School Board Association Fall Roundup was August 29th. Joe, Nick, and I attended. Majority of the items we discussed was the WA lawsuit that I'll touch on a little bit later. Just like a lot of school staff development, the best part of the trip is the collaboration you have on the way down there and on the way back. So I definitely appreciate Joe and Nick going down to that, the discussions that we had. I don't know if you guys have any other things to discuss with the fall around it.
I share with you the time we had in the travel back and forth, interaction, conversation, that was great.
So the annual fall conference is in Casper, November 16th through the 18th. If you are planning on attending, please let Dana know so that she can coordinate all of the rooms and everything that we need to know. So, graduation dates, this is something that's been listed at this time in the past. HEM gets the coveted Friday night graduation, and then on Saturday is Saratoga High School and Cameron High School. Next item, each high school received $2,000 for utilizing the Pixelot cameras. So Wyoming High School Activities Association had at or close to 100% of the districts participate in their Pixelot camera drive that they did. And so I think the Pixelot company gave high school activities a kickback, a large kickback of money, and they decided to pass that on to the schools. So all of our high schools received $2,000 for utilizing the Pixelot cameras, which was nice of them. I thought that was good. Following donations were received. We received a $1,500 donation from Bridge Street Bargains for the Saratoga Elementary School Blessing in a Bag program. $500 from the Kiwanis of the Platte Valley for the Saratoga Elementary Blessing in a Bag program, and a $10,300 donation from Sinclair for the SES Panther Book Club. Last donation is a $5,000 donation from the National FFA Foundation for the Bow River FFA and Hannah for grants for growing. So quite a few donations this month, pretty exciting for that. Item number 7, the WA lawsuit. The Wyoming Education Association has filed a suit against the state of Wyoming for not properly funding education in Wyoming according to the funding model. Basically saying our basket of goods is too much and you're not funding it to the appropriate level. There hasn't been, part of the basket of goods is an external cost adjustment that would help with inflation. There hasn't been an external cost adjustment for some time. This is similar to the Campbell cases back in the 2000s, I guess. Kind of unique that the WA filed the lawsuit. It surprised many, many districts, but there are districts that are joining the lawsuit or joining the coalition. So I know, it's something that was brought up at our School Boards Association. It's been brought up with superintendents of whether your district's joining the coalition or not. So Bill will share some information with us in executive session, because it is a legal matter as to whether it will be a good idea for us to join or not join. I don't know if there's anything you want to share now, Bill, or just wait for it.
That's good.
And then our last item, kind of late, we received our White Top school, data and then our school performance reports at the end of last week. So I just included on board docs just a little bit, just a snippet of data. So if you look at your White Top school performance update tab, I just put a small graph together. Again, I just had this morning to kind of compile some of this, but just to take a look at some of our White Top data. The numbers represent the students that are proficient or advanced, and it's broke down by both ELA, which is English Language Arts, and also math. So you can see under English Language Arts, the green areas are areas we were above the state. The state's indicated by the blue spaces, and then yellow we were below. So for ELA, we had 5 grades above the state average, and there's 8 grades total in ELA. So we had 5 grades above the state average, 3 grades below. And in math, you can see just basically how all of our students did. We had 4 grades that were above and 4 grades below. Again, the best part of our White Top data is looking at growth. And so in the future, I'll show you growth data as well as school data. But at this time, that was basically what I could get together in a short time.
So probably in the October board meeting.
Yes.
And this was the final one of last year.
That was the final, yes, the final white top. So in each school, we've assigned what principals will, when they'll do their reports. I think Laura's up in October, and I'll share the district growth and school data at that time. Each school is given a school performance report based on just one indicator, the white top score. So I also included that on the white top data. They've all been given this. You can either, so they rate your school, you can either not meet expectation, partially meet expectations, you can meet expectations, or you can exceed expectations. So I just listed our school performance for each of our campuses, also on that chart, so you can see where they're at. Again, that's just using the white top data from this year. And our school reports and board presentations will address where our schools are at. Elk Mountain and Medicine Bow are not given a school performance report because they have so few students. Do you have any questions about that or anything else? Thank you, that is my report.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so principal report, it says none. However, we're gonna, as it got brought up, maybe hear from Mr. Johnson about just how the cell phone policy is working out there at Saratoga Middle High School as far as not having interact kids.
So personally, I think it's going real well. Just on the academic side of things, we pulled grades last week. I had like 5 or 6 kids on my DNF list. Compared to last year, it was usually 15 to 20 kids. Now, I don't know if that's, corresponding to that, but I just also got the report today. We only have 7, and now we're into week 5 into the grades. Talking with teachers and just knowing in the halls, we're having less and less kids in the halls and bathroom breaks and all kinds of stuff. But as far as issues by parents, you probably hear more than I have. But overall, I think hearing from the teachers and stuff, it's been good. So, do you guys have any questions about the phones or anything like that? Like I said, for junior high, I feel like it's done well, and I know Ms. Johnston hasn't had as many things in her office from the beginning of the year to now concerning different stuff. And it's just been really neat watching them at lunch period and stuff. They just interact a lot more. Granted, it's still nice, so we go outside a little bit when they get done eating and all that, but just different groups are sitting together and having to talk and communicate that well. And that way, instead of just watching videos, it seemed like all they ever did.
Please refresh our memory and those who don't know what this policy is.
So the policy is just for our junior high. Right now, they come in and at the beginning of the day, they turn in their cell phones. I have a lockbox type thing that I keep in my office, and then they get them back at the end of the day. So they don't have their phones with them anytime during school.
Thank you.
How much pushback did you get when you first initiated that?
I sent stuff out at the beginning of the year with our handbook change. Students had it in their handbook, and then, like I said, we sent a paper that had our handbook changes in it, so it was it was out there at the very beginning. I had a couple parents just kind of question, but more on political ideas of taking personal property and that type of stuff was more there. You're taking my property, you're doing this, if schools can take this, what are they taking next? And not so much of the education part of it. So I just had, you know, they came in, we talked, and when they left, they understood, and I hadn't heard anything else from them, so.
Have you found many kids that aren't turning their phones in?
You know, I've had a couple turned in as teachers have found them, and then parents come and get them. You know, I'm not gonna go through their locker and find, you know, do locker searches, but just having kids standing at their lockers and stuff, we don't see that. You know, the one I found, they went to their locker and was heading to the bathroom, and I just took it, and that was it. You know, it wasn't a big issue or anything like that, so I think it's more, you know, I know some kids still have them and they have them in their lockers and that, but as long as they're not out during class and going off in their locker and things like that. That first week, we had a few alarms going off and different things, but, you know, I think it's working out pretty good.
Good, thank you for the report. Be curious to see, you know, maybe later in the year too, how well it's, you know, if you start getting leaks, more people doing the lockers. That's good. As a junior high parent, I'm very in favor of it. Okay, item C, special education report. Don't see Robin here. Any highlights or anything you want to comment on? Overall, special ed, starting of the year, any comments or issues or concerns to discuss?
I think the biggest thing is we're up 15 special ed students from the beginning of the year. I think those, and each student that you have has its own rewards and challenges associated with that. So I think it can be difficult. We are up to full staff in special ed, which we weren't last year. So hopefully that'll help out this year.
All right, thank you. Curriculum report, you mentioned that Mr. Manning was actually ill today, so
That's correct.
he will not be here.
So in his report, Mr. Manning's report, you'll notice he included Title I and Title III. Those are leads that he has this year, so he reported on those. Nothing really to talk about other than that.
So the delay in getting some of the curriculum materials here, how was that going?
You know, it's been better.
Or principals address that,
Right.
well, feel free to.
So one of the issues that we had wasn't necessarily in curriculum, was our technology and being able to DIBELS test our students and accessing that. So it Amplify the company was pretty difficult to work with in regards to how it was, the information was pulled from PowerSchool, and so that took about 2 weeks longer than what it normally would, and so we worked through that. You know, other curriculum, I think we have some of the curriculum, and we're still waiting on other areas of the curriculum. So.
Anything you guys want to add to that as far as curriculum delays?
I would just say I'd like to commend the title staff here and the interventionists. Because of the delay, they just moved forward. They just moved past it, kept going, because they wanted to get kids the services they needed. Yeah. Get it done. Yep.
So the DIBELS testing that I'm talking about is beginning of the year DIBELS testing. We have results from the end of the year from all the students except for kindergarten. So really, you can plan your intervention groups and you can go forward with your results you have at the end of the year. So that's what many of the teachers did. I think they did a great job as well. So.
Okay, thank you. No, we have no unfinished or new business at this time. Item 10, the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, item 11, financial information. A would be the treasurer's report as well.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, your general fund balance at the end of August was $4,333,190.23. You can see there your revenue, your reimbursed expenses, your bills and payroll for the month of August. Your major receipts, of course, come from the State of Wyoming Foundation payment and your Carter County Treasurer. Your investments, you can see where your money is invested at the various rates. We don't have CDs, so there are no maturities. Do you have any questions regarding your general fund financial statement? Your financial statement for your other funds includes your grant funds as the balances stand at the end of August. We do have until September 30th to have the 2023 consolidated grant and other grants approved, and those have not been approved yet. So they're working on them back and forth between the state and our people getting those worked out. And you see the comparison between payroll for August 2021 and August of 2022. And I made a note on the health insurance is that when we did our unlapped checks, which is the payout of contracts in June, some of the checks were made payable to the wrong vendor. And so we had to cancel those checks and reissue them, and they were reissued with the August payroll. So that's why your health insurance is so much greater than it was last year. To explain that difference there, that was quite. And then if you look at your gross pay, you have 10 people at $4,000 a month, that's $40,000. So, well, that's $4,000 a year. Anyway, raises go into that and summer school. And ESY, there was a lot of ESY during the month of August. July, August. You see your scholarship balances, your employee benefit fund. Right now, there are no expenditures from employee benefit fund. We have paid off our final retirement incentive payment as of the end of June. So all of that money is there now available to pay out for unused personal leave that you approved with your payroll, with your pay in May. You see there your major maintenance fund balances, capital construction, we have no projects going on. Depreciation reserve fund, the lunch fund, encampment activity fund, HANA activity fund, and the Saratoga activity fund. Do you have any questions regarding your other funds? Any questions regarding your summaries that came along with your bills lists? I think we're on track pretty well there. It's early yet. I'm waiting for September payroll to see what happens. That concludes my report.
So, Mr. Chairman, the Bills Committee and I met with Sally. She answered our questions. I move we approve the following bills. General Fund, $241,845.01. Federal Fund, $23,110.39. Major Maintenance Fund, $387,411.19. Hot Lunch Fund, $33,970.30. Encampment Activity Account, $18,282.55. HEMHS Activity Account, $2,923.65. Saratoga Schools Activity Account, $23,674.60, for a total of $731,217.69.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bills in a grand total of $731,217.69. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, October Bill Committee is Miller, Condit, and George. All right, moving on to Area 12, items from the board. Number A is to review board governance leadership policy, tab 2.05, regarding budget and financial responsibilities. This was last reviewed in 2020. Any basic issues, concerns? Okay. We don't have any policies. Okay. There's some content there. Bill, do you want to talk about that? It says turning the person reviewing the board policies. We need to talk about that.
I've got 3 policies that I'm working on. that what we're talking about?
Yeah, just an update as that you're working on it or.
Yeah, I've got 3 that I'm working on, I've got to get to the board. One's on purchasing, one is on bus drivers. What I'm not recalling. I don't have one of those. I will try and get at least one of those to the board for the next meeting.
All right. Okay, item C, which is the amended portion regarding school district board of trustees election coming up in November. In fact, basically that we have some open things that people didn't necessarily submit to the county to apply for. And obviously we have Janice on here with us, and she did apply for the Area 3 position, one of them, so appreciate you coming in. Just FYI, if that's Janet.
So the 2 open seats, we have one in area 4, so that's an at-large position, I believe. And then the area 1 seat, that's the northern.
So it's north of Interstate 80 and the town, you have to look more in the town of Elmhurst.
So did they do like a write-in campaign?
So that's the information that I've shared with you. So if no one has filed, so it could be a write-in campaign. The person with the most names or with the most votes via the write-in would be elected to that position, and then they would either they don't have to accept it because they were elected to the position, but they could decline it. If it is declined, then it's basically the board will fill the position as if someone left during their term. With candidates and going through the interview process, which we've done in the past.
So if more, let's say one person got 20 write-in votes and the next person got 10, would they move down the list, or it's just the first person, when that person can decline it and then it automatically comes to the board as we would appoint someone?
That's correct. So it's the person with the most write-in votes, and it doesn't go to the second person if they decline it. It goes to the board to appoint.
I think it ought to be if nobody signed up, the guy that holds the seat just keeps holding the seat for another 4 years. Perfectly logical to me.
That makes complete sense.
Well, I'll explain myself. I had other interests that I was going to pursue with Hannah. Changed my mind on that, so I didn't pursue signing up for re-election on the board, but it's hard to get anybody to serve on boards a lot of the time, so I'm open, I guess, to a write-in campaign if it happens.
And so, just here's another point of clarification, I guess. So, for instance, Area 1, which is north of the interstate plus the town of Oak Mountain, can everybody vote on that, or just people in that area actually vote?
I believe it's just in your area.
I didn't think so. I think it's the district.
Everybody.
I think it's everybody.
Votes.
Everybody can.
Okay, there you go.
So just, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure either. So if Charlie's willing to stand for a board, for a write-in campaign, then, people could, from all over the district could write here.
Yeah, because you actually, that's how you run the person, correct?
Yep.
And I wrote your name in, I remember.
Was
So
it
there you
write-in?
go. Yep.
I didn't remember that. So.
This is the useless knowledge I know.
We must not have put him in.
Somebody wrote it in.
Here you are.
So yeah, I'm willing to this. If you guys have somebody else in mind, let's get down.
I guess then we're willing, we could just, at our leisure, write their name down. Like we have somebody else.
Yep, that's true.
But, yeah. It's probably a good idea if you're, willing to do it to promote it a little bit or get people to write it down.
Okay, so we have Area 1 where there was nobody signed up. What was the other area?
Area 4, it needed to be 2 people signed up and only 1 did.
Area 4.
In Area 3, we'll get to that. Area 4 is just whatever. It's anywhere.
That's an at-large.
It's an at-large.
And area 3 is Saratoga City proper.
Yeah, which both Cassie and Janet put in for. Yeah, so there'd be a vote there, obviously. So we'd have to, there'd be some other write-in or whatever for area 4.
Now, just as a point of discussion, even though Janet Zahn is running for area 3, we could write her in for area 4.
Correct.
You can.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because that can be anywhere in the district, even.
Oh, no, I just meant because she's already on the ballot.
Well, you could write it, so it's a different position.
Yeah.
But you can't hold 2 positions.
Right.
Correct.
Well, but you
I
can
know.
decline the write-in.
Yeah.
So just for example, if she was a write-in candidate for area 4 and was to win the election in area 3, you'd have to decline one. Janet, since you're here, do you want to have anything to say, or you're welcome to? We'll give you the, or introduce yourself, or.
I'm not prepared right now.
Well, that's
but-
fine. I didn't mean to. Yeah, I should have.
but,
Just want to give you the opportunity.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it. I look forward to possibly serving with you all. And I guess we'll just see what happens. As far as the write-in thing, I guess I don't care which area it is, so.
Just appreciate your interest.
Is the at-large anywhere? Or does it say, because one of them says anywhere except for Saratoga. Which one is that?
I think that's area 2.
No, this is the one Georgia has. What?
Yeah, but is that the one that's south of I-80?
No, that might be
South-
that might be area 2, this one I did, I think.
Okay, south of I-80, excluding the town.
Excluding the town of Saratoga.
That's not, because I know one of them says excluding the town center.
Yeah.
Right, there's
No.
2 area 1s, 2 area 2s, 2 area 3s, and 2 area 4s. Overall, there's not all up for election this year. And one other somewhere. Okay, so, yeah, has to do, and if nobody, if the winner of the appointment, if somebody gets appointed to the board, it's only until the next election cycle. And typically, if we've had an appointment, like there's half a dozen people interested, or several, so more than in an election cycle for whatever reason. People are more willing to put their name in the hat. They don't think they're gonna have to be elected, and it's usually tougher to actually get in.
So if somebody is put on the board by us, they would only go for 2 years, is that what you're saying?
To the next
So the next election.
2 years.
So
They could run.
Instead of serving the 4-year term, they would only serve 2
right,
years.
that's
And
how
then-
mine was.
And then when they run again in 2 years, it would just be a 2-year term to get you back on that 4-year cycle.
Cycle. Okay. Always fun.
All right, anything else regarding that? Anything related to Region 5?
I had Dana attach Dan's report that he does every month. I'm just gonna point out, because we'll be doing the resolutions, it looks like, which he's always working to try to get the LEA status so that they can get funding from the state. And their Teton County School Board, looks like they might be sponsoring a resolution at WSBA. For BOCES to be declared an ESA, which I'm not exactly sure what all of that. So I don't know, I think it's just the steps trying to get closer to the LEA status, but, and then of course, I think I did see that on Robin's thing that they're doing a training with, Ted, yeah. So, just, another point out there that, Region 5 BOCES is involved with our district trying to help with any kind of training, that they can assist us with. I don't know if you guys have any questions. It's been like almost a month since our meeting, so. And I won't be able to attend the next meeting, but I may just try to attach his report.
Thank you. Okay, me is appointing the voting delegate for the WSBA Assembly in November. Obviously, you need to be present to be the voting delegate. You need to plan to be there. Joe's done it for several years, actually. Anybody have specific interest in being the voting delegate or change?
Joe just gonna do it again?
Yeah, I plan on being there. So, and I would encourage others to be there too. So we worked out a system in case there's a change in the resolution to know whether we want our school board to support or deny.
So with that being said, we don't have another work session between now and then, do we?
Well, actually, we can do it in encampment, because that's the meeting right before the school board meeting, or the school board conference.
The WSBA conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually do it, go over the resolution.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and appoint Joe as the voting delegate again. Appreciate you doing it in the past.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being willing to do it this year. Board member comments. Charlie,
You know, I complained when I'm last, and I'm gonna complain when I'm first. I did write some things down. I'd like to welcome all new teachers. I'd like to offer my condolences to Wendy Briggs. She was a long-term employee with the district. Congrats to all the athletes and their sportsmanship awards. And Steve, I'd like to say thank you for your service.
Yeah, good place to start. Thank you, Steve. We wish you the best. You're going to do great things. I would also like to congratulate the Wausau Good Sportsmanship recipients. We got a lot of donations this month, so it's really exciting to see that community support. And along with that, just homecoming this past weekend was really great. It's such a festive and fun time. Whenever I go to a football game, I always see Mr. Cloyd. Just want to tell him thank you for all the games that he goes to. It seems like he's always there with a happy face, willing to help out. So yeah, really good update on the cell phone use. I think that's all really encouraging. I'm glad to hear that that's going well. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen, good luck with the Department of Education. I think you do great there. Sometimes our career paths aren't always exactly how we think they're going to be or whatever. And, you know, funny how I've always felt when changes finally happen, I'm like, you know what, I wound up exactly where I was supposed to be. And if I would have gotten this other job, I'd have been somewhere else. And I'm glad I didn't, you know, in the end, it tends to work out that way. And so I'm pretty confident it will for you. Excited for the teachers we have here in Saratoga, excited the fact that we keep having to hire teachers because we keep growing, and that means we've got kids and our job is to educate kids. So that's exciting. And that they're back in the buildings. My son Wayne, who kept to school here, is the only one that was really excited to come back to school, so maybe that's something about Saratoga Elementary School is a good place to be. Yeah, sports is going on and seeing and the other activities, rodeo, and I don't know if Casey's still on the line, but her daughter got hurt. I saw something about that on Facebook. Hopefully she recovers fast, and there are other activities besides just regular sports that we think about.
Thanks, James. And I would pretty much echo what everyone said. And good luck, Steve.
Thanks, Casey.
Congratulations to kids on sportsmanship. Thank you for all your years of service, Stephen. Welcome to the new teachers. I think it's been fun that the kids are back in school, and I've gone to every campus so far watching sporting events, and it's fun to see all the different coaches and all the different kids and out there doing good, having fun. So it's been nice to see all the kids back.
A lot of the same, new teachers. I missed last month's meeting, so hope everybody has a great school year and everybody's positive. Lonnie Briggs, prayers to Wendy Briggs. Lonnie was a HEM graduate, bled orange and blue, was always there for the kids. Kind of a sad loss. Sportsmanships, great jobs, kids. The donations. Priest, I'm actually happy to see you leave. I ain't gonna get to see any more of that Ohio State crap back there. Seriously, wish you the best. Great job. Enjoyed working with you most of the time. Have fun.
I'll go off the same again. Of course, I still want to say though, welcome to the new teachers. I'm excited to have new faces, and I hope that they have a good year. Sportsmanship, that's always a great thing. I'm glad that they do that. It's cool to see kids step up, and it's exciting to watch kids out on the field or on the court and how they treat other people. We have some great kids. Condolences to the Briggs family. Of course, best wishes to you, Steve. We're sad to see you go, but we wish you the best. The donations are amazing to see, and homecoming, we had kids come into the bank and decorate, so that was fun to see the kids in there and how excited they were about homecoming, so that was fun.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I know it's been said many times, but the sportsmanship thing, Anthony, Quaid, and Slade really thrills me to have these young people representing our district and in that way. So I feel really good about those things. I'd like to congratulate those guys. And then also offer my condolences to Mrs. Briggs and that whole community up there. Thank you, Mr. Priest, for all your time and efforts, and wish you the best of luck on your journey, next chapter. And then, and thanks to the donors, this thank you card that we got from the kids that went to Chicago just reminds me that, what great opportunities we have, and I'm really glad to see these young people taking advantage of it, and, and extending their education beyond just this valley. So really tickled about that. So, thank you.
Okay, welcome to the new staff. And I've had and everything that everybody else has said, I concur. But I've had the opportunity to attend several sporting events between Camden and Saratoga. I haven't yet got up north to see Hannah, but I will get there. But what I'd like to say is, it's really great to see the great competition, but even after the competition is done, the sportsmanship, because, good game, whether win or lose. And I'd also like to thank the staff at the Saratoga Elementary School for the opportunity to observe professional teachers as they engage the students to give them the skills needed to read, write, and to do math. And I also want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to help, because there's nothing better than helping a kid. And some of them, and I think the expression he used, was just had to be pushed a little bit to focus again that 7 + 2 is 9, 9 + 2 is 11. They just needed that help, and I was allowed to engage in that, and I thank you for a great day. Thank you.
I want to add one more thing for Hannah. We went to volleyball games, and the boys' football team up there are probably the best cheerleaders you've ever seen. So if you get a chance, go up there and see them. They're right. Really push the girls on, and vice versa.
I saw some of the pictures for the homecoming and stuff up there. It looked like a lot of fun, bonfire. Yeah, they were dressed up, supporting the girls. Cool, thank you guys. All right, 13, the executive session. A motion for that.
Make a motion that go to executive session.
A moved and seconded to go into executive session to discuss legal issues, personnel issues, student legal issues considered confidential by law, to discuss the matters concerning the proposed litigation to which the district may be party. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Hey, Casey,
Yeah,
do you want to call in on one of our phones for an executive session, or?
it's up to you guys, if you want me to or not.
Yeah, we can probably call you and put you on speakerphone, one of our cell phones.
Okay, that's fine, just do that.
Okay.
I don't have good service.
Okay, that's fine. We'll try.
Okay.
There will not be action after executive session today. And it will be in Mr. Palm's room right outside here. Kevin Hall. Right, yeah. Okay. We'll let them hear well. Exciting as that was, we are on item 14 to approve the executive session minutes signed by the chairman and clerk.
Chair, I move that we come out of executive session, approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to come out of executive session and approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next school board meeting will be Monday, October 17th, 2022, 4 p.m. at the Hannah Elementary School. Meeting adjourned.